Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics. In this video, I'd like to take a look at why hardline Brexiteers are ramping up their efforts to tie in the recent disastrous mini-budget with Brexit when it has just failed utterly. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So while we work out if we've still got a government, it looks like I've got another window to talk about, amongst other things, the fallout of the government's meltdown. Why are the Tufton Street Brigade all donning their tinfoil hats and linking the doomed mini-budget with Brexit? Might also be a good time to point out that the Rejoin March is back on this Saturday in London. I'll put a link in the description below. But ever since Friday, I've noticed a distinct ramping up of noise from the usual Tufton Street cheerleaders and GBBs. They're quite anguished. They were really delighted up until that point. Now they're in full anguish mode. They all praised Truss's mini-budget as the sunlit uplands arrive in. And as soon as they sensed the party was over, absolutely frantic. There was a proper through the looking glass moment from Adam Brooks, one of the GBBs. The collapse of Liz Truss's plans was the result of, well, let's see now. Remainers, of course. The EU, naturally. High up friends in the markets. What? The political spectrum. I've no idea what he means by that in this context. And billionaire philanthropists. Oh, and appointing Jeremy Hunt to be Chancellor was suspicious because he was in Belgium last week, apparently. And this is just a taste of what I've been seeing since Friday. You know, now everyone's in the anti-growth coalition. Everyone. Not just the opposition parties and the Guardian, but even the very Tory MPs who voted to pull us out of the EU. Everyone's in it now. It's just Tufton Street against the entire country. Suits me, I like those odds. But you might reasonably wonder why they are linking the now doomed mini-budget in with Brexit. Wouldn't it be more strategic to completely decouple Brexit from the budget now that it's been thrown into the skip and the skip's set on fire? After all, I can see that what we got last month was part of a trajectory from this hard Brexit. Brexit didn't deliver any benefits, none at all. If they'd have just wanted us to leave the EU, they'd have actually gotten away with that. Totally gotten away with that. The fight to rejoin would have been way harder. But they had to have the hard Brexit, leaving the single union, the single market, sorry, in the customs union, the single union. That completely screwed everything in a way that people could notice very, very quickly. So the government, in order to try and continue to sell Brexit, had to be seen to be doing something that would deliver some benefits. Even if they have to tell us, actually, the benefits won't be immediate after all. I know we said they would. But actually they're going to be like 50 years or something. You need to wait a little bit, got to be patient, which is what they've been doing since we left the customs union and single market. But they still had to do something that looked like it was delivering on the benefits. And what they did had to be something that we wouldn't have done as EU members. So massive deregulation and neoliberalism on crack was the order of the day. Only it doesn't work. It can never work. They're trying to say that we'll never know because Truss never got to try it out. Yes, she did. The economy exploded, don't you remember? Also, it's been tried before. Yes, she didn't actually implement it. She just announced it. But it's been implemented before. It's been tried before. That's why the markets went loopy, because they've seen it all before. And it went badly. What happened, in a nutshell, is that Brexiteers claimed that setting the markets free would benefit us all. The markets know what to do. The markets know what to do. The markets basically said, let's not go there. It is a silly place. Now the markets are part of the anti-growth coalition. Liz Truss unleashed the power of the free market and it ate her up. It's still crunching on her bones now as the people who urged her to unleash the beast claims that the reason it ate her was the fault of people who told her not to unleash it. By the time this video has been published, Jeremy Hunt should have delivered a statement plugging the hole in the nation's finances that Kwasi Kwarteng created just over 3 weeks ago. This is because it's clear now that the markets are not going to calm down until the figures add up. Oh, and adding up the figures is not going to be in our benefit. Austerity time again. It's not necessary, of course. They could chase up the billions in furlough and PPE contract fraud They could be serious about a windfall tax, which I think they're probably going to have to do anyway. There are revenue sources that don't involve hitting ordinary workers, which would still secure public spending budgets. But that's not how the Tories think, is it? So there will be tax rises here and there. They can't avoid it. They can't actually reduce public spending by as much as they'd like to because they've already knackered it. But they will be cutting public spending as well. It may calm the markets down. Politically ruinous for them, mind you. But they're politically buggered anyway, I suppose you could argue. But why link the now obliterated budget with Brexit? The mini budget was instantly unpopular with the public, and it proved unpopular with investors as well. It was just universally unpopular. Why not say it's the right idea, but it was poorly implemented by a clown, as some Tory Brexit supporting MPs are trying to? Why are the Tufton Street Brigade they've failed, getting this failed attempt more tightly bound to Brexit? I think there's a couple of reasons. First, the public came to the same conclusion anyway. I've discussed the traps to be wary of when looking at polls, particularly the polls of supporting rejoining the EU. Most of the snapshots you'll see, and you'll have seen a few in the last few weeks on social media, they're fiddled in one way or the other. Even now, people are saying, oh, look, this shows an outright majority in favour of rejoining. No, it doesn't. Because they're excluding the don't knows to come to that figure. But don't knows aren't the same as won't vote. They just don't know. They will do on polling day. So they will actually say one way or the other what they want to do. So you can't exclude them. It's silly as well because there's no need for deceptions because our case is clear enough and support will just grow over time. But there was a big old jump in support for rejoining a few polls and a corresponding drop for remaining out since the fallout of the mini budget. Now, these things go up and down, of course they do. But what that suggests is that the public already linked Truss's plans with Brexit delivery. Probably because the Brexiteers told them to. So they were told, oh, this is going to be the benefit of Brexit. Oh, this is a proper budget, proper Tory budget, benefit of Brexit. Couldn't have done this outside the EU. Oh, look, it caused the economy to catch fire. So, of course, the public have gone, actually, I don't like this Brexit much. They've seen what it's done. It's made the cost of living even higher in a cost of living crisis. But the second reason is because I think it's because that's what these people wanted from Brexit. There were lots of people behind Brexit, various parts of the country and the world. And they all had their own motivations. There were lots of different motivations for Brexit. But the ones most closely linked to the Conservative Party wanted their libertarian paradise. They wanted their massive deregulation, which means chopping rights and standards. And I'll be talking more about that later, either today or tomorrow, or basically when the world stopped blowing up, or at least the country. They wanted their obliteration of taxes for the rich. They also want their so-called investment zones, where even the piss-poor standards of Brexit Britain won't apply. We may hope that plans for these are reined in a bit, but I've heard nothing yet. We may still suffer those before we can get a general election. After all, this wasn't even just a Liz Truss plan, the so-called investment zones. That was Boris Johnson. So that's a continuation. But what they're seeing really at the moment is the end of the Brexit they wanted. And I think this is why strategy's out the window for them. They were so close. They thought they had their hands on it. So close to getting what they wanted. And rather than going, oh, it's gone, and regrouping and rethinking, it's like they're making a desperate lunge for their prize as it floats away. They're attempting to stir up the wider Conservative Party to stop what they fear is a move by moderate Conservatives in the Parliamentary Party to wrest control back. They can see that Truss is little more than a figurehead Prime Minister now. And maybe their acolytes in Cabinet will be the next to have their power castrated. And they'll also fear where public opinion may take things. Labour are already promising material reversals to the hard Brexit. But they're still pouring cold water on the idea of customs union or single market access. But until the manifesto is published, nothing's set in stone. Obviously, rejoining the single market is going to be a very lengthy and difficult process regardless. But if public opinion of target voters shifts significantly between now and the election, it does simplify things a great deal. Labour's Brexit offer in the manifesto could be enhanced still. And Brexit was always going to run out of road. But ironically, by having Liz Truss go full steam ahead on what the Libertarians wanted from Brexit, all she's really done is run out of road more quickly. She's hastened the process of exposing its impotence. Basically, they're panicking that their Brexit, which was nowhere near done in their minds, is about to be dealt a terminal blow. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.